Coming up on Sportsource, after a 17-4 season and an undefeated region run last year, can Jefferson girls soccer stay on top? We take you inside the program looking to do it again. And we'll show you how this local run club is helping runners of all levels hit their goals. Plus, a UGA baseball transfer who followed his best friend to Athens. We'll show you the friendship behind the decision. Sportsource starts now. Welcome to Sportsource. I'm your host, Will Morrison. Jefferson girls soccer is off to another strong start this season, and senior Ava Rodriguez has helped leading the way. Sportsource reporter Carlana Garner has more on how the Dragons are building on last year's success.
Thanks, Will. After finishing last season 17-4 overall and undefeated in region play, Jefferson girls soccer entered this year with high expectations. Now, 3-0, the Dragons are focused on staying hungry and improving every day. For senior Ava Rodriguez, a Jefferson lifer since pre-K and now committed to Coastal Carolina, this season is about leading by example and maintaining the standard the program has built. Last season, Jefferson girls soccer finished 17-4 and undefeated in region play, but fell short of a state title. This year, the message is simple. Different team, different year, but the same high expectations.
We did lose our amazing goalkeeper that went to Middle Tennessee State. So we are rallying around a new goalkeeper this year, and so putting our faith and our trust in her.
With a new goalkeeper stepping in a slightly different schedule, the Dragons are learning who they are early.
Unity is big right now, and we continue to build that, and we're going to continue to have good results.
But staying hungry after success isn't automatic. Last year, Coach Molly McCarty made her returning players watch Oconee lift the state trophy, a moment that still fuels this team.
I made them stand there and watch it for two reasons. One, it's good sportsmanship, of course, but the second reason is I didn't want them to leave out of there not wanting more of it.
That hunger starts with senior Ava Rodriguez, a Jefferson Dragon since pre-K and now committed to Coastal Carolina.
Ava is one of those die-hard, her word is passionately committed, and she has put her entire life into soccer.
For Rodriguez, this final season isn't just about personal goals.
The goal for me this season is to have a good sisterhood and to be a tight-knit group, but also we obviously want to go to state and hopefully win it this year.
With a 2-0 start and a clear goal in mind, Jefferson isn't just chasing wins, they're chasing a state championship. Reporting from the Carmichael Sports Media Institute, this is Kalana Garner. With strong senior leadership from Ava Rodriguez and a team determined to keep raising the bar, Jefferson is focused on continuing its winning tradition this season. Back to you, Will.
Thank you for that story, Kalana. Next up on Sportsource, we'll all be talking about 3 local high school basketball teams making their playoff pushes. We dive into the matchups ahead. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Sportsource. As the GHSA state tournament hits winner go home mode, 3 local 4A teams are still standing. Joining me now are Sportsource analysts Ashley Johnston and Will Hearn. And tonight, we're going beyond records. We're focusing on one key playoff number, performance in close games. In March, when possessions shrink and pressure rises, games often come down to the final minute. So how have these teams handled that moment? Will, start us off with North Oconee.
North Oconee enters at 24-3, the top seed in the division, and they've been dominant on both ends, nearly 65 points per game while allowing just 51. But here's the number that matters, 6-3 in games decided by 5 points or fewer. In the playoffs, that's huge. It means they've been tested. Late game execution, free throws, defensive stops, everything they've done before. They're led by Region Player of the Year Justin Wise and 3 first-team All-Region selections, so the talent is there. The experience in tight games gives them composure when margins shrink. After advancing past Benedictine in the first round, North Oconee now faces Mays High School. If this turns into a late-game battle, the Titans have proven they can close.
Ashley, now let's talk about East Forsyth.
The Broncos are 20-9 and actually score more than North Oconee with over 67 points per game. Offensively, they can light it up. But here's the contrast. 2-5 in games decided by 5 points or fewer. That's the same pressure situation, and it hasn't gone their way as often. In the postseason, that can be the difference between advancing and going home. They do have 2 All-Region first-team players and already proved they can beat North Oconee during the regular season. After advancing past Wayne County, they'll face Alatoona. If they score efficiently, they're dangerous. But if it's tight late, history suggests that's where challenge begins.
So North Oconee has late game success. East Forsyth can score but has struggled to close. What about defense? That brings us to Eastside. Will, what do you have on them?
Eastside might be the most defensive-minded team of the three. They allow just 47 points per game, the best defensive average in this group. And in close games, they're 3-2 in 5-point or less contests. The Eagles haven't necessarily been dominant, but they have been steady. Defense travels in the playoffs. When shots aren't falling and the pace slows down, being able to get stops can keep them alive. After defeating Warner Robins, they'll now face Pace Academy. If Eastside can generate just enough offense to complement that defense, they're built to grind out wins.
Now, let's put it all together. 3 teams, 3 identities. Will, what can you tell us?
North Oconee is the most complete with balanced scoring, a strong defense, and is proven in tight games. East Forsyth has the highest offensive ceiling, but late game execution is the question. Eastside brings the best defense, which can control tempo and keep games within reach.
Final takeaway. When you look at this bracket, what matters most, Ashley?
In the playoffs, it's not about average margin of victory. It's about what happens when it's a one-possession game with a minute left. North Oconee has shown the most consistency there. Eastside defends well enough to survive these moments. East Forsyth has the firepower if they can flip that close game script. Round 2 tips off tomorrow. If history tells us anything, expect tight finishes, and now we know exactly which number to watch. Back to you, Will.
Great job, Will and Ashley. That's your 4A playoff deep dive. Coming up on Sportsource, the Athens Roadrunners are more than just about running, they're about community. And later, 2 best friends, 3 teams, and 1 transfer portal decision. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sportsource. If you've been walking around Athens, you might have noticed groups of people running together throughout the city and local parks. But who are they, and how can you join them? Sportsource reporter Nathan Bias takes us inside the Athens Roadrunners to uncover more.
Thank you, Will. Athens Roadrunners is a local running club that welcomes athletes of all experience levels, from first-time runners to seasoned racers. I spoke to Coach Alan Jeffers to find out what the club is all about and how runners can get involved. For someone who's never heard of the Athens Roadrunners, can you explain what the club is and what it does?
Sure. Athens Roadrunners is a community club. We are formed under a couple national organizations, so these clubs exist all throughout the country. Atlanta Track Club's a really big one just down the street. We've been around for 13 years, and it's an all-comers club. Anybody is welcome to join literally anything that we do.
What does a typical week or run look like, and where do you guys usually meet?
Yep. There's several organized runs throughout the week. I'll give you an example of one. One is the Wednesday morning track session, which is, if you know a little bit about running, that's a speed workout that we put on for the community every week. There's a Saturday morning run, which is generally an all-community run for everything that we do is for all levels, but some people gravitate to certain workouts more than others. So Saturday morning, there's Wednesday morning, there's Wednesday evening, there's literally runs going on all through the week.
And how do you see that community play out with the Roadrunners?
I think, like I said, we're here for the community, so we work closely with things that are going on in the community. Mostly what Roadrunners is about, we're here to represent the running community. So that could mean anything. That could be putting races on. That could be, doing events. That could be, maybe, like I said, we have a lot of coaching. We offer a lot of really strong coaching. So as far as what we do for the community, I think that's it. We're literally a community. We're here for everything that goes on in the community.
What do you advise for a beginner runner or someone who potentially moved into Athens to get started with this?
Nothing really. It's literally just show up for one of the runs and maybe go online, look at the website and kind of see what it's all about. But what it's all about is everything. We're just about running. That's literally what we're about. We have racers, really fast ones, but a lot of our runs are people who just started out. So it really, it's just maybe seek out some other members, have a little quick talk and say, what do you guys do?
What would you say to someone who feels nervous about joining because they don't know if they belong or they're not fast enough or they just think they're going to be behind?
Yeah, it's a community club. I mean, we're not here for anything other than to promote running. So we welcome, of course, all newcomers, all people who are just starting out. We have a lot of resources to help people with that. It's like I said, we do offer coaching, and but it's literally, if you just show up for one of the runs, you'll see all abilities are out there.
Whether you're training for your first 5K or just looking for a supportive group to stay active with, Athens Roadrunners offers a place to start. Back to you, Will.
Awesome stuff, Nathan. Coming up on Sportsource, two best friends bond that started on a travel ball field that has now taken them to the SEC. And later, students finally have their say on who the biggest Georgia rival is. Alabama, Florida, Georgia Tech, South Carolina. We finally crowned a champion rival on Sportsource. Don't go anywhere because we'll be right back. Welcome back to Sportsource. From the baseball diamond, a UGA transfer is proving that sometimes the best recruiting pitch comes from your best friend. Sportsource reporter Bailey Campbell has a story of a friendship that followed two players all the way to Athens.
Thanks, Will. Ryan Wynn and Daniel Jackson have been playing baseball together since they were 16. From travel ball to Wofford College, the two always remained close friends. When Daniel transferred to Georgia ahead of last season, Ryan wasn't too far behind. Now roommates and teammates in the SEC, the two are showing that the bonds built long before college can shape where an athlete ends up. At Foley Field in Athens, Georgia, two familiar faces are sharing a dugout for the third time in their careers. Ryan Wynn and Daniel Jackson have played together since they were 16, on the same travel ball team, in the same high school region, and later at Wofford College. Now, after Wynn followed his friend through the transfer portal, they're doing it again, this time in the SEC.
If we go back to our 16th year, we played on the same travel ball team, and then we were in the same high school region. And I think from then on, our friendship just blossomed, and we ended up lucking out and going to the same college at first, then somehow ended up here. And I'll just say, through the years, we just survived the trials and tribulations, and we just ended up being great friends and now roommates to this day.
When Ryan entered the transfer portal, he had options, but Georgia kept coming up, and not just because of the program. Daniel, already a Bulldog, had spent the better part of a year telling his friend how much he loved it in Athens. And when Ryan came up to watch him play, the decision started to take shape.
Really, it was just talking to him about my experience with my communications with the school, and then just his experiences as a whole. Like, we talked a little bit throughout the year, really, just about how much he liked it. Then when I hopped in the portal, we got the opportunity to talk about it a little more, and really, I got to come up here during the regional one time and see him play, and I got a little more of insight then too.
When Georgia's coaches came to Daniel about Ryan, he already knew what he wanted to say. He'd watched him play for years, and he wanted to be reunited again.
Coach Thompson came up to me originally, and he asked me about him. And so after that, I kind of talked to Ryan, of course, and I wanted him here because, known him for forever, and obviously I know he's a good player, so I wanted him to come here. I know he's talking to a couple other schools, but I kind of tried to push for him to come here.
Now roommates, the two don't leave the friendship at the front door. Late nights talking through at-bats, replaying games, leaning on each other when the jump from Wofford to SEC ball feels steep. For Ryan, having Daniel one wall over has made all the difference.
He has a year more experience than me, so it helps just knowing that how he handled things, especially coming from the level where we came from to being in the SEC, just knowing what he went through before and how I should navigate those challenges.
That trust runs both ways. Daniel says having Ryan here has pushed him to be better too. A built-in workout partner who's always ready to put in the extra work.
We both want the best for each other. We both want each other to succeed, I would say, as much as possible. Of course, not just because we're teammates and, that usually leads to wins, but just on personal goals, I want him to succeed.
Ryan is still early in his time as a Bulldog, but Daniel has watched him play long enough to know one thing. The best is still ahead.
I would just say his competitiveness. He hasn't had his chance, or he's had his chance, but he hasn't gotten to display what he wants to display out on the field. And when he gets that chance, I think, everyone at Georgia is going to be very happy. They're going to see what type of player he is. He'll go make diving plays, and he's confident and he'll make stuff happen.
For Ryan Wynn, the transfer portal was full of unknowns, but one thing was certain. Wherever Daniel Jackson was, he already had a teammate. Now in Athens, that friendship isn't just holding up, it's making both of them better. For the Carmichael Sports Media Institute, I'm Bailey Campbell. With Ryan Wynn still settling into life as a Bulldog, one thing's already clear. The transition has been anything but lonely. In the transfer portal era where players chase opportunities, Ryan chased something a little more meaningful and ended up exactly where he wanted to be. Back to you, Will.
Coming up, UGA rivals have defied countless moments in sports, but which rivalries matter more to the students? We had them answer their biggest hatred. Coming up next. Sportsource returns right after this. Welcome back to Sportsource. From the gridiron, hardwood, or the diamond, UGA fans have developed many rivals across the years, yet there isn't a distinct one. Joining us now is Sportsource reporter Brooks Thomason to give us the answer.
Thanks, Will. From going to Battle Rocky Top, Tuscaloosa, down to Gainesville, the Dogs have piled up their contentious rivalries onto their schedule. I spoke with students to figure out who is the true rival. Students, take it away. Who is your least favorite UGA rival?
Vanderbilt.
Oh, why Vanderbilt?
I hate the name.
Wow, that's an interesting name. Why the name?
Because of historical reasons.
We hate historical figures. Who is your least favorite UGA rival?
G-Tech,
Why Georgia Tech?
because their colors are disrespectful.
Who is your least favorite UGA rival?
Auburn.
Oh, why Auburn?
One of my best friends decided to go to Auburn because they got in-state tuition and it just pissed me off, so I hate them.
I hate him too. Who is your least favorite UGA rival?
Well, you got to go with those Tennessee Volunteers.
Whoa, why Tennessee?
Well, first of all, they got that stupid team name. And second, my brother's ex-girlfriend. Look at what she did to me.
We hate the ex-girlfriend. Who's your least favorite UGA rival?
Alabama.
Oh, why Alabama?
I just don't like them.
Me too. Who's your least favorite UGA rival?
I mean, it's the basic answer, but I have to say Alabama.
Why is it Alabama?
I grew up over in West Georgia, like 20 minutes from the Alabama border, so there were tons of Alabama fans over there. So it's just like, it's been ingrained in me since I was a child. Hating them.
We turned Ty Simpson into a fidget spinner during the SEC championship. Who is your least favorite UGA rival?
Bama.
Oh, why Alabama?
Probably because they're just too rowdy.
The true rival to the students is the Alabama Crimson Tide. Clearly seems like the students have an interesting palate, but the true hate goes to Alabama. Will, back to you.
Thanks for that, Brooks. The Bulldogs and the Crimson Tide have had a lot of meaningful battles over the years. That's all from us this week. Thank you to all of our reporters and analysts this week for a great show. For the entire Sportsource team, I'm Will Morrison. We'll be back next week for another episode. Have a great weekend.